I can't breathe.
Put the hand in the cuff, mate.
Yeah.
I can't breathe. Those were some of the final words spoken by 18-year-old Henry Novak. He wasn't just a statistic. He was a human being, bleeding out in excruciating pain from the stab wounds inflicted by Vikram Digwa. Henry was arrested, handcuffed, and read his rights by the police as he slumped over on the ground and slowly slipped into the afterlife. This did not only happen because of an allegation of racism by his attacker, but far worse. It happened because of the woke DEI ideology forced upon the police and the British society. What a terrible, heartbreaking tragedy. But the burning question we must ask is this: did it have to end this way? What is the root cause? Many point directly to a systemic shift in our nation, where left-leaning policies, anti-white sentiment, and reverse racism have fundamentally warped how our frontline services operate. Welcome to Politics and Principles. Today, we are getting into the exact details of how Britain reached this breaking point and the vital solutions needed to turn the nation around. Watch until the end because we will present the exact policies that can fix this broken system. To understand why a dying victim ends up handcuffed, we have to look at 5 structural failures that brought Britain to this point. First, diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI. It has become one of the most dangerous ideological weapons in modern society. DEI forces institutions to view everything through a hyper-focused race and sexual preference lens instead of equal treatment under the law. Second, the weaponization of the term far right. We are living in a majority white country where millions of tax-paying citizens feel completely abandoned and treated like second-class citizens. Yet, when the march against government injustice, illegal migration, or sky-high taxes, Prime Minister Keir Starmer and the mainstream media instantly brand them as racist, and in the words of Keir Starmer, has repeatedly used far-right thugs. The real divisiveness is not coming from the public, it is coming from number 10. Third, the erasing of Britain's Christian heritage. Parliament continuously pushes for specific Islamophobia laws, and our top leaders seize every opportunity to highlight other faiths while remaining silent on Christianity. Look at the double standard on our streets. Pro-Palestinian marches are given free rein, while white British patriots protesting injustice are met with overwhelming, aggressive police containment. Fourth, the assault on your legal rights. Figures like David Lammy have pushed to scale back jury trials. In a system already infected with DEI focuses, removing working class juries leaves your fate entirely in the hands of often very left-leaning ideological judges. Decisions will be made based on identity politics, not the hard evidence. Fifth, the denial of two-tier justice. Keir Starmer stood up in Parliament and claimed two-tier policing does not exist. But you cannot solve a problem if you refuse to admit it is there. Starmer cannot admit it because doing so means admitting his entire leftist ideology is broken. Instead of fixing the core issues, he blames figures like Nigel Farage for stirring up the pot. It is classic political deflection. So how do we resolve this crisis? How do we ensure no more citizens end up like Henry Novak? We need immediate, principled action. Purge DEI. Strip the divisive ideology completely out of the police forces, schools, and the public sector. Fire the political motivated trainers in the College of Policing and the National Police Chiefs Council and replace them with trainers who believe in and train in accordance with the understanding of absolute colorblind equality under the law. Exit the ECHR. Britain must leave the European Convention on Human Rights. We must stop prioritizing illegal migrants over the hard-working taxpayers who built this country, allowing us to secure our borders and swiftly deport those who should not be here. Enforce one standard under the law. Rewrite guidelines to ensure that regardless of race, gender, or religion, everyone faces the same justice system. No tiers, no exceptions. Protect jury trials. David Lammy and the Labour government should abolish their idea of stripping away your historic right to a trial by your peers. If the Labour government can find the resources to fast-track trials for protesters who disagree with their policies and decisions, they can use that exact speed to clear the massive backlogs for the grooming gangs, violent offenders, and other cases. Stop the political smears. The Prime Minister must stop using far-right labels to silence everyday citizens who simply want fairness and safety for their communities. He's not proving himself to be a Prime Minister for all Britons, but rather only those who agree with his leadership. That is a sign of weakness, not the strength he thinks his words signify. True leadership requires the courage to face reality. It is time for our leaders to step out of their political bubbles, listen to the cries of the nation, and fix what is broken before it's too late. Equality under the law is the principle that restores trust and delivers real justice. One clear standard should be applied to every citizen. No identity shortcuts, no protected classes, no two-tier outcomes. Leaders who enforce this without fear or favour will heal Britain fastest. If you want one standard of justice for all, comment below with the specific change you believe matters most. Hit that like button, subscribe to Politics and Principles, and share this video to spread the message. See you in the next one. If you have benefited in any way from this video, please subscribe, like, share, and be sure to leave us a comment.